Okay, good afternoon, friends. Welcome to the session on designing and delivering powerful presentations. So, this is a session which is designed not only to learn about some basics about PowerPoint presentation or how to make your slides, it is also about how to deliver your sessions, the basics of delivery. So, I would start with the basics of delivery and then I will come to the design part of the presentation. Okay. So, to begin with, as anybody who is a presenter, one has to keep few things in mind while in the heart of his heart before he even starts the delivery or presentation things. One is I have quoted about Socrates, one is I have quoted about Plato. I will start with Plato. Plato says that as fish know swimming from birth, so does human beings have knowledge in their subconsciousness from birth. So nobody can teach anybody, anyone, anything. We are only helping others to recollect what they already know. You shared your experiences of listening skills, or how not to act in emotions, or what is the benefit of hard work. So it is nothing that we don't know about, but by your presentation in sessions and storytelling, you have tried to share, not share, rather help us recollect the very basics, and it only increases our resolve to work towards that. So whatever I am going to present today is nothing. So why I have taken this point of that nobody is perfect and that we are not anyway giving any knowledge to anyone or that we are not knowing anything which other people do not know. Why I'm telling this? Because as a presenter, as a good presenter or a delivery person, you must keep in mind that you are not the hero if you are doing the presentation. Heroes are those who are giving you time to listen to you. If you talk about basic man month thing, man hours thing, if I spend 1 hour, you're spending your 3 hours. If I speak for 1 hour and you're listening to me for 3 hours, then if you're three people, it is 3:1. That means the time and you are spending with me is more than the time I am spending with you, which means that I have a responsibility to ensure that there is a takeaway when I'm taking a session. So as my topic is about powerful presentation and how to design and deliver, it is important for anybody learning the presentation skills. He must know that he is carrying a responsibility to do his best and deliver so that people have a takeaway and their time is not wasted. Right? So we begin with that. Another second thing that presenter or a delivery person must keep in mind is that he has to invoke thinking. That when the session is over, people has something to think about, to ponder about, and work upon it so that he can transform himself. So if your session is not helping to transform others, then you have really not done your job. So Socrates used to tell this thing that you have to invoke thinking. He never used to teach or he never used to give the resultant of what he was talking. He used to just share the topic and he wanted people to think and people to conclude. He never used to give a conclusion. So that's what is the very basic of it. Empathy comes into it. When you are talking about good presentation skills, good delivery skills, when you're thinking about people's time is not wasted, you are being empathetic, isn't it? When you're keeping people before you, you are being empathetic. So empathy is a very important thing, and you never know. And during your session, you will be asked questions. So when somebody is asking a question, remember, when he's asking a question, he is afraid to ask. He doesn't know how you are going to reciprocate. Other people in the classroom are listening. So he's making a courage to ask you because there is something that he wants to be changed. So what I'm trying to say is that if somebody has come forward to ask you something, it is important to listen to him, give him value, and answer him appropriately, so that he's encouraged to ask. So that's again thinking, feeling about him before you even answer about it. about his question. So let me come to my next slide. My next slide is on delivery. So what are the important things of delivery? Eye contact, hand movement, using the stage, right? These are the basic things, isn't it? And yes, voice modulation. So when as a good delivery thing, now I'm coming to delivery part of it. Eye contact is very important. What do you feel if I am all the time looking at on the rooftop or looking at the floor? You will not feel engaged, isn't it? So when you are giving a presentation, you have to engage with your audience. You have to look at your audience, isn't it? What would happen if I was looking down on the floor? It is a language, right? It's a language. It's a body language. When you're looking down on the floor, you are either hiding something or you're telling something a lie, right? So what would be the audience thinking? That would they trust a presenter? The presenter must be looking at the audience, at least all the audience, one after the other who are in the hall, so that everybody gets engaged, everybody gets attention, and they also are assured that you're telling the truth, right? So eye contact is important, isn't it? Just think about you're not giving a presentation. Let us say you're talking to your friend. Let us say you're talking to your colleague. What if you don't look at the eyes and talk by looking down on the floor? What would your friend think? You are not engaging. Just think what would you feel? If you talk like that, what would you feel? He would feel that you're not confident. So would you like to show people that you're not confident, whether in your office, whether with your colleagues or friends? Would you like to show that thing about you? No. You would like to. Would you like people to think? Would you like people not to trust you? No. Would you be able to have good interpersonal relationship unless you at least look at the person in front of you for 50-60% of the time while you're talking? There could be some other things in the surrounding. Fine. I would not even advocate you to speak all the time staring, and that would be intimidating kind of thing if you're staring all the time to the person in front. So there has to be a balance. But eye contact is very important. So this training about delivery skills is not only telling you about delivery skills, it is telling you about body language, it is telling you about confidence, it is telling you about how you can improve your interpersonal relationship, how you could be the person very fond of everybody to be fond of you, because it is the way you act, the way you present is going to make a difference about how people feel about you. So I would not even tell that this session is only about delivering a presentation. It is about transforming the personalities. It is about constructing a personality which is successful and enduring. It's so important a topic, isn't it? So that is why I always keep this as my most favorite topic. I am mostly engaged with people of all ages, especially college pass outs or the campus to corporates. So these are very favorite topics, and even in my office where we have got um, new incumbents coming in with some 1 year experience kind of thing. And then about hand movement, I would give an example to you. You would have seen people speaking like this or speaking like this. Even the best of the speakers don't know what to do with their hands. And you would have even seen some of the speakers holding hands behind their back. And have you ever wondered what are they doing what are the hands doing behind the back? When they're talking, you would wonder their fingers are still moving. Isn't it strange that even when the hands are held back, the fingers are moving? Why are the fingers moving? Because your hands are actually natural communicators. We'll do a small exercise. Can you all of you please, would you like to do this exercise with me? You can raise your hands if you want to. Would you like to do it? Okay. Okay, so raise your hand higher, touch your head. Touch your head. Yeah. Raise your hand higher, touch your head again. Raise your hand higher and touch your nose. Touch your nose. So you got confused really, isn't it? Whether to touch your nose or your skin or your chin, isn't it? So you can see your hands are better communicator. You follow the hand movement more than the words. So hand movement is indeed important, isn't it? So if hand movement is so important and they are natural communicator, and we know that actions speak louder than the words, then why to hold our hands behind our backs? Why not to let them move naturally? Okay? If you would have heard about assertive communication and positive body language, you would have probably known that you should be speaking with your hands, with your palms facing upwards, wherein you are trying to showcase that you are sharing your opinion from the bottom of your heart and you're not hiding anything because your hands are still like this. You're not hiding anything, isn't it? Am I hiding anything? I am not hiding anything. So, this is a natural body language that you're not hiding anything and you're sharing your opinion. And not only that, the person who is speaking is also open to the opinion of the person in front. Not only that, you are sharing your opinion, you're not aggressive, you're assertive, and you're even welcoming the opinion of other people in front of you. So I'm not saying that this hand movement should be only when you're presenting or you're delivering a presentation. This is when you're natural, when you're talking to somebody. If you talk to somebody with your finger pointing like this, or you talk to somebody like this, now you listen what I am saying. What I'm saying is right. You agree. You must agree to it. This is aggressive. You're trying to show dominance and you're trying to demean people, or you're trying to tell that you know better and the other people lesser than you. So this is a very bad hand movement. So I'm not saying that we should not do this hand movement while we are delivering. We should never do it. Why should we do it? God has made man in his own image and likeness. Human beings are the beautiful and the best creation of God. So we should respect everybody, shouldn't we? So that attitude should be there every time with us, whether while delivering or while in any other ways, wherever we are, by talking to friends or colleagues or friends or juniors or seniors, doesn't matter. So this session is telling you about delivery skills, not while on stage, but wherever you are, even for interpersonal relationship. So we covered in this small topic, we are trying to cover empathy, we are trying to cover emotional intelligence, we are trying to think about person in front before we think about us. Isn't it very basic about emotional intelligence to think about other people's emotions? How would they feel about the way you act? So this is an embodiment of so many topics. And this is such a holistic topic that it can build your personality, a confident one. You will be liked by others, an endearing personality where everybody would like you. You will definitely improve your interpersonal relationship. So this is all about hand movement, eye contact. And if I talk about using the stage, I had not been using the stage so far because I wanted to tell you the difference in how the use of stage can make a difference. If you have a stage and you're standing in one place, you will look like a robot. But if you have an audience where you have people in the hall on the right and on the left side, you have to sometimes move on the left side of the stage and you will see the audience on the left hand side and give importance and they don't feel neglected. And sometimes you move to the right side of the stage and look at the audience at the right and give them the attention so that they don't feel that they are being neglected. Everybody gets the attention. And sometimes you come to the center of the stage and give give your delivery while at the center, and the people in the center can see you. Everybody gets the chance to. Everybody gets the equal importance. And moving on stage has to be with a purpose. For example, there's a question from an audience, and it's very natural to move forward and show your interest and inclination. So moving the stage has to be with a purpose. If I start moving on a stage aimlessly, very fast on either right side or the left side, then I would be digressing people's attention. But as a delivery person, it is important that people listen with focus, and so for that they're able to focus and their attention is not diverted. It is important that I do not act in a manner that their attention is diverted. So you would have seen me standing most of the time on my both the legs. If I stand like this, you can make a difference. I can make a difference, right? Or if I stand like this, it will make a difference. Your attention will be diverted. You will be digressed. So Standing firmly on both your feet is very important, because when you are delivering, maybe for 3 or 4 hours, the lectures are long. If you stand on one leg, or put your weight on one leg, you are going to get tired more often. Not only that, you are getting tired. People are getting digressed by looking at your movements, standing, giving weight on one leg like this. No. So the best part is standing on your both the feet. So using the stage, eye contact and hand movement I have just shared with you. The other important part is voice modulation. Now, your voice modulation has to be, should not be on a same monotone. It has to be going high and low. There has to be emotion in your voice when you're speaking. If you are not having emotion in your voice, then people might get disengaged. They might feel asleep while you're talking, right? So this is about this. And before I move to next slide, I would like to show you some pictures about what are the assertive body languages, about hand movement. So these two gentlemen are talking. The gentleman and the woman are talking, and you can see they are both. You can see both their hand movement and their eye contact. They're looking at each other. Can you see there on the screen? So this is the example of assertive communication. If you see the next picture here, you would see these the wrong hand movements, like they are clasping their hands or holding hands behind their back, which is not the right thing. So I told you the appropriate way of hand movement is your palms facing upwards, right? As in the left thing. So now I have covered the delivery part of my presentation. Now we'll come to the design part of my presentation. So this is going to be a little bit more interactive, because I will be showing you certain skills, hands-on skills, while I do that on the PPT also. So moving to the next slide, about designing the presentation basics. For designing, we have got 6 helpers. 6 helpers, you see, 5 W and 1 H. You can remember it, 5 wives and 1 husband. Just to remember, 5 W, 1 H. And who are these 5 W and 1 H? The most important, the hero, is who? Who is your audience? It is very important to know your audience, their background, before you start this training. Now, this topic is such that anybody would like to know about presentation skills. Anybody would like to know about delivery skills. So I took this as my first topic in this session, because I knew that I don't even need to do training need identification. I don't need not to do any training need analysis, because this is a need of everyone. Everybody would like to be a good presenter. Everybody would like to be a good orator. Everybody would like to have a good delivery skills, right? So I selected this topic because I knew that my audience would like to know about it. So that's why I took this first topic. I hope you, and I got a lot of messages since 2 weeks back. I gave this topic. Everybody was very happy about it, that they really wanted to know about it. So great that wonderful people joined here, some online and some offline in this conference room. So great. So this is about the first W. The second W is what? What is the topic that what do you want to tell about in your thing, and how is it going to help them? So whatever you are going to deliver in your session, the content, that must have some takeaway for your audience. Otherwise, why would the audience come to you? So that brings me to the why part, the advantage. Why should audience come for this session? There should be takeaway for them. So we have a very beautiful takeaway. Delivery skills, we have got presentation skills, and so many hidden things about body language, hand movement, personality traits, how you can look confident, how you can improve your interpersonal relationship, about how to feel, how to know that as a presenter you are actually not telling or teaching anything new. You are only helping people recollect that they already know. Maybe you are bringing those things afresh in their mind, from their subconscious mind to their conscious mind. Right? So this is very important as a background. So these are the takeaways, right? And then when and where is a very common sense, that what would be the right approach, where to do it, when to do it, how to do it. The medium should be Zoom or face-to-face, depending on the scenario. How big is your conference room? How many people you can get in the conference room? How many people you can get online, because you can't have all the people in the conference room? So we took the mix of it, right? So this is about 5 W's and 1 H. This is a very basic thing about, so this, all these things are helping you design your presentation. So I was talking about two things, delivery and design. I told about delivery. I'm telling about design. And these 6 helpers are at the back end. I have not shown my design as of now. I will be coming to that in the next slides. But even before I design my presentation, I have to keep certain things in the background. So these are the 6 helpers in the background who will help me design my presentation. Now coming to the very first about designing is the planning part. How do you plan your presentation? It's very simple. You have Google Guru. You go to google.com. You get all the content and you download that. You have the topic. You write about it and you can make your slides. So simple, isn't it? But I would show you one more website, answerthepublic.com. If you press https://answerthepublic.com, what you would get on the screen, you get a screen something like this with a search button and some examples. Suppose you write chocolate and search on answerthepublic.com, you will get a whole lot of questions. The questions would be about how, why, what, where, when, same, no difference. So it is quite in line with the 6 helpers. So if you want to know why is chocolate, what are the advantages of chocolate, or why should one eat chocolate, or how to make a chocolate, you can just press one of those questions and you will get answers about that. So you can see how to make a chocolate, the entire workflow and the diagram is given, the stages from left to right. And if you talk about benefits of chocolate, you can press the URL and you can get the benefits of the chocolate. So getting information is very easy. No rocket science. You can go to Google, you can go to answerthepublic.com. Is that all? No. Remember one thing. Don't think that with all the information available to you, you can deliver any topic. No, don't make that mistake. Deliver the topic which is your expertise. Deliver the topic on which you have spent some years, some mastery. Just don't deliver on any topic. So I will not be able to deliver anything about how to make a chocolate because I have never made a chocolate. Even if I had the complete thesis about it, I really will fail the test because I have not done it practically. It's not my cup of tea, you see. My cup of tea is designing and delivering powerful presentations. So I would stick to my topic. Right. So getting information about topic is not a difficult thing. What is important is how you sequence your material with and how you add your experience into that. That makes a difference. So planning part is collecting the information. But once you are collecting the information, you will find yourself drowning in the plethora of information. Now, how do you sequence your information? That is the important part. What to exclude, what to include, that is the important part. So, structuring a presentation is what I am talking about is a most important thing about designing. I will give you an example. As we move forward, you can see in my slide that there are some figures I will show you in my subsequent slides. You see these figures. You will need some time to think how many squares and rectangles and triangles are there. So there are exactly 4 squares, 4 triangles and 4 rectangles, but so evitable on the right side of the figure when they are sequenced properly. That is the importance of structuring. When you are making your PPTs and you are giving your presentation and you're designing your presentation, these slides that you're showing should work as a visual aid for your audience. They should not be putting too much of their time reading about it. Because if they start reading about it, they cannot simultaneously hear what you're saying. And what would happen? The focus would go away from the speaker to the slides. So slides should be just a visual aid, just by the way they are there, to just help you understand, help the audience better. But audience should not get too much exhausted in reading the content. So content should be very less. Pictures should be big. Fonts should be small. So I have not said this. You see, I am not any celebrity there, but whatever I would say, you will agree and you will understand and you will accept it. So I would like to quote to you from Abbie Hoffman that structuring is even more important than content in the transmission of information. I didn't say it. Abbie Hoffman said it. If you will not believe me, you will believe Abbie Hoffman that structuring has an utmost importance in designing of your presentation. Right? So, as a presenter, you must add certain quotes from some popular figures so that people not only understand you, they even easily accept you and trust you because there is a backing from from Abbie Hoffman. So I hope you agree with me now that structure is important. The diagram shows you. Abbie Hoffman tells that. I tell that. Okay. So this is one part of it. Let us move to the next slide. The next slide is about keeping the important parts and weeding out what is not important. Why? So that the most important idea shines. You see, when we were about the planning, we had collected a lot of material. Now, in the designing part, you are removing what is not so important and you're weeding out what is less important so that the important things shine. If you would see, the sunflower, which is the thing here, is actually hiding behind the grasses somewhere. Is it a good idea? The flowers are not shining at all. They are not even in the focus. But don't worry. That's what we are talking about in this slide. Weeding about the less important things or even important things so that the most important idea shines. So this process of weeding out is important so that the core idea comes out, shines out, by discarding a lot of insights which are important but not the most important. So I was talking about sequencing and selecting the most important thing. Remember one thing, that when you are giving a presentation, you will be allotted certain time. For example, I was allotted 40 minutes. It would be important that I finish it in 40 minutes. Why? Suppose I take 5 minutes extra. You think 5 minutes doesn't matter? No. If there are 10 people in this conference room, I can count more than that. Then you multiply 5 by 10, it will be 50 minutes. So it's not about 5 minutes extra, it's about 50 minutes extra. People would have certain schedules in their life. After this, they would have some meetings. They have to be left in time. So when you are making your slides and reducing your slides, and you are actually appropriating your content to the time limit. And if you have lesser time, it is tougher to give your presentation because in lesser time you have to give your core idea to your audience. Suppose I ask a mathematical question that you have got 10 minutes. And how much time would you need to prepare your presentation? And if you have 40 minutes, how much time you would need to prepare your presentation? You would be surprised that for a 40-minute presentation, you need only 1 week. For 10 minutes presentation, you need 1 month. Because you have to get all the information in 10 minutes. It is tougher to give a 10 minutes presentation than to give a 40-minute presentation. The amount of preparation is more in 10 minutes because you have to sequence and make it so accurate that in 10 minutes you are able to deliver. That's the importance of time. That's the importance of weeding out. That's the importance of highlighting the core idea in the stipulated time. So when we are talking about delivering presentation, designing presentation, keeping care about time, not your time, your audience time. Everybody's time is very. Time is money, more than money. So we'll come to the next slide. Now we'll come to perfection. What is the importance of perfection? How would you know that you have reached perfection? A designer knows he has achieved perfection not when there is nothing left to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. You are a sculptor. You are making a sculpture. You take a large piece of rock. You take a big chisel and a hammer. A lot of civil engineers and architects here. A lot of engineers here. It's very easy to make a human form. You remove the mota thick objects out. Now you have come to the conclusion. Now you're coming to the nose. You need a very small chisel. You remove very little. Why? Because you want to give a good shape to the nose. You're not going to add anything. You're removing that extra iota of that particle which is not letting the nose to be perfect. So that's about French aviator and author Anthony de Saint-Exupéry. He was an aviator. He was a famous French author. Wonderful lines from him. When do you know you achieve perfection? A designer knows he has achieved perfection, not when there is nothing left to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. That's when you achieve perfection. Now, having achieved perfection and made your slides, what is the next step? The next step is getting yourself reviewed. You show it to your senior. You make presentation for your office. You are a principal. You are a teacher. You have a principal. You make some presentation for school. You will show it to your vice principal. Finally, you will show it to your principal. They will add some idea. They will ask you to remove something. They will tell you, no, you're going a little beyond the context, or they will tell you, no, you have missed something. So when you get yourself reviewed, that is most important. Why? On the day, you will not be disappointed. Your audience will not be disappointed. You would achieve what is expected of you. But if you think you have done whatever you have done is the most right, no. You have to get yourself reviewed. Why I say this, in whatever field you are working, you're making presentation for your office, you're making presentation for your clients, you have to get it reviewed before you actually present. Make changes. So now, when you're getting yourself reviewed, what is so important about it? You'll be surprised. Your client will think how sincere and serious he is about it. He has come for my inputs. He want to do a good job. Second thing, indirectly you have given him so much importance. Now he will add his points. So now he is not your client and you are not the presenter. You are partnering together to give a best presentation. When you work in partnership, you get the best result. And when you get in isolation, you get poor results. How much rapport building you have achieved with your boss, with your client, when you're working with getting yourself reviewed. This is very important. When I was heading Gurgaon branch, and I had a lot of area under me, entire Haryana, Himachal, Punjab, GNK. This was under me, not the other part of it. So my MD, Mr. R.D. Grover, used to tell me, I just get yourself reviewed. I said, boss, I am here. You have made me here. I am the senior most. With whom should I get myself reviewed? He told me, I told him, you hardly come here. You keep coming here. Sometimes you're in Bombay. Whom should I go to? He told me, you get yourself reviewed from your client. I said, okay. Then I made it a point that every month I will go for my self-review to my client. I will make a presentation, go to my client, tell him, God, this is what I have done. I will go to IT manager. When he will approve my presentation, then I will go to CIO, Chief Information Officer. I used to show my slides to him. Bingo. It never used to fail. He always used to like, and our service improvement plan were just on dot. Because I had all the input from the insider, from the IT manager. Okay, so this is the most important part, getting yourself. Coming to the next topic, before I come to the next topic, I never say thank you. I always have a slide on summary. So I would summarize what I said so far. The first part I said was design the presentation by using 6 helpers. This is the first part. Second part I told was about structuring the presentation. Remember Abbé Hoffman. Remember those 2 figures of squares and triangles and rectangles, how scattered they were on the left side and how structured they were that you don't even have to count them. So the importance of structuring. It is even more important than the content in the transmission of information. Coming to the next is use big pictures. You would have seen me using only big pictures. Whether that lady with a headache, plethora of information, or those scares, or that weeding out thing. So how can you keep big pictures and keep big contents? This is also a trick which I will tell you just in 2 minutes, if the time will permit me. Coming to the next topic is designing and delivering presentation is an art and can be mastered by practicing it. So if you want to be good in oratory skills, you have to speak in front of mirror, in front of video camera, record yourself, see your recording, see how you can improve. Give your presentation to your friends, to your colleagues, get their feedback, and you will definitely improve every Thank you very much for your time. Hope it will help you in future. Thank you.
Great, Ayush. I think from the word go, you have done it very professionally. Even your looks are very professional. You could have taken the liberty to be a casual, but you're very committed and professional in your approach. That's what is evident actually now. So it is a great presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thoroughly
Thank you,
professional. Thoroughly professional. You have done in a very concise manner. Everything you have done in a very concise manner. You are, I mean, everything you have done to the point. Your presentation first, your appearance, then your presentation, preparing your presentation, the delivery. Both were excellent actually. So you have done in a very precise manner. Everything in a very thorough, professional manner. Everything to the point, crisp and clear. Everything was crisp and clear. Very good presentation. Very good presentation. Awesome presentation.
Ayush, I really liked the thorough professional approach you have taken for today's presentation, especially the way you have dressed up, and totally I felt I was in one of the IITD classrooms. And it was that like how you have given ideas for us in your presentation. Sequencing was there, structuring was there, then perfection was there, everything was there. It was a live example of whatever you were preaching. It is like it should not be just preached, it has to be practiced, right? So everything was there, and beautiful presentation, beautiful, very good command over language, everything I liked.
In fact, body language was also, he covered the body language. In the first part, he covered body language also. So that was also great. Delivery part was excellent. Everything was good. Awesome. Thank you.
Very nice.